Hello and welcome back to Faces of Truth, where we're trying to help America think again. My name's Alex McCauley. I'll be covering, what do we call this? Collusion in high places, I guess is what we'll call it. I find it interesting that until just recently, when Donald Trump was elected, the Democrats have not made a stink about any of the Republican candidates we've gotten in for president. Well, except for Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was, they did. Nixon, they did. But when George Bush, Clinton and George Bush and Obama were elected, we see a secession of Democrat violence toward the conservatives towards conservative candidates in office, I should say, for, let's see, 2 terms for Bush, 2 terms for Clinton, 2 terms for Bush, and 2 terms for Obama, which means 4 years a term. That's 8, 16, plus 16 is 12, 32 years of Democrats in office, basically. Sorry, Republicans, I'm going to say the Bushes were Democrats that were masquerading as Republicans. Most of the Republican candidates we vote for, even on local levels, are Democrats masquerading as Republicans. Their policies are the same. They will state that they are pro-life just to placate their constituents, etc., etc. But when the rubber hits the road, they are Democrats, not Republicans. I used to hang out at Capitol Hill all the time. Unfortunately, I was a little young at that particular time in my life, but I got to see how even the Republicans would tell the conservatives what they wanted to hear, the conservative constituents what they wanted to hear, but then they'd go for the big government solutions for everything the minute that they got behind closed doors, and the Democrats had them backed into a corner. It wasn't that hard for them to make this the decision to stab us in the backs, wasting our money to make life hard on us and keep us from being able to do our jobs as citizens in building a good economy, in helping each other out without relying on the federal government, and so forth. All these things that the federal government does now for us used to be done by us for each other. We need to get back to that. We need to elect representatives, executives, and have those people select judges and senators that will uphold the standards of limited government that our nation was founded on. The first time ever we got a limited government candidate in the last 32 years has been when we, excluding myself, I did not vote for him, but we voted in Donald J. Trump. I didn't know him when the election of 2016 was going on. So I voted for someone else that I did know a little about. I was voting for Scott Bradley, but he was running as vice president for Darrell Castle. Darrell Castle has been I have been following Donald Trump, and he is have seen that he is trying to do the right thing in promoting limited government with no government intervention on our level. However, because the people closest to him are pretty much cutting him off from his Twitter feed and doing his tweets for him now, we see him being snookered into doing things that are pro-deep state. I will once again say that one of the worst things we could do is enter into any type of trade agreement with foreign countries that integrates us into a trade bloc with them. These trade agreements are steps in the direction of uniting the world under a global government which has absolutely no way for other governments to run competition with it. So therefore it could very easily evolve into, or should I say devolve into a tyranny, a dictatorship underneath either an executive or a representative body that does not represent the people or protect the people from anything. These bodies, on a worldwide basis, can literally infringe on your rights as a citizen with impunity. And they have been in the United States for the last 32 years. They've been turning the heat up on the pot like the proverbial on us, like the proverbial frog in the boiling pot. The thing is, we've been on to them. When I get back onto my history of history of man that I was doing a few weeks back, I will show you exactly what's been going down. But our money is being turned against us by these Democrats that are totally honest about what they're doing, and our Republican candidates who are trying to portray themselves as conservative but vote exactly the same way as the left does on almost every issue. This is one of the reasons that we cannot allow this corrupt impeachment to go through, because there is no recourse for the innocent. And yes, Trump is innocent. He was just trying to protect us from the people we keep on electing, thinking they're going to represent us, and they never do. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this presentation, please like, subscribe, share, and if you want to, go ahead and use the comments. Unfortunately, I have not been able to figure out how to use the comments as a creator yet, so I'm still learning this YouTube stuff, and I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.